Hello, my name is a pizza. They call me a pizza because I get a piece of news from here, a piece of news from there, a piece of news from everywhere, piece it all together, and then I give you a piece of my mind. Welcome to part 2 of my GOP radicalized video for the Republican presidential candidates. The first thing I want to say is, wake up, America. Donald Trump actually has a better chance, listen good, a better chance of winning the presidency than Jeb Bush. So while you're trying to push Jeb Bush on the average Republican voter, I got to tell you, you're making a terrible mistake. I remember back when Ann Coulter, one of the most conservative Republicans in your base, made the statement when Mitt Romney ran against President Barack Obama for president in 2012. She said, and I state, I quote, "If Mitt Romney is the nominee, we will lose." She was right. She also said, if Jeb Bush, people, is the Republican primary nominee, the Republicans will lose the White House. And here is why. First of all, we are thankful for the Jeb Bush, because to Democrats, Jeb Bush is the Todd Akins. Remember when Claire McCaskill from Missouri helped Todd Akins win his election so that he would be her opponent in the general election? Because she knew he was so out there that the general public was not going to support him, not going to vote for him. So she done everything that she could to make sure that he won so that that would be her opponent. Guess what, GOPers? You're not dumb. At least I don't think you are. But if you continue down this pathway, then I got to regroup and say, well, maybe you are. But Jeb Bush is to the Democratic Party as Todd Akin was to the Democratic Party in Missouri. In other words, that's who we want Hillary Rodham Clinton to go against. And here are the reasons why. The Democratic super PACs, all they have to do is take one page, just one page, out of the Republican playbook that they used for the last few elections, when they made the election all about President Barack Obama. It wasn't about the opposition, the Democratic opposition whom they were running against. They made it against President Barack Obama. Well, guess what? That's all the Hillary Clinton campaign super PACs have to do. Make the election against former President George W. Bush, who is the brother of Jeb Bush. And the first ad that I would run is the clip where Jeb Bush was asked the question, in hindsight, looking back, do you think that the Iraqi war was a mistake? And homeboy said no. That's your answer right there. So every time George Bush, see, I've already started, Jeb Bush puts out an ad, your counter ad needs to be, number one, starting out with him not owning up to the fact that the Iraq War was a bad mistake. It was wrong. It was a lie. And we're still paying for it. So when he said that, I can't say that it was a mistake, that's your first clip. Number two, when George Bush said, let's stop showing, our military men and women coming home in these draped coffins, these coffins draped in the American flag. That's too much. That's too much of a visual for the American public. No, Democratic super PACs, you need to show that. You need to show those flag draped coffins. Not only that, you need to look at, now what has this war really cost us? Look at the trillions of dollars that we have spent and continue to spend over this war. The other thing that you need to show with your videos is ISIS threatening to behead folks, Americans and others. Because ISIS is a direct result of George Bush and Dick Cheney going into Iraq. You got to put the blame where the blame is. And I'm sorry, Jeb, but you are going to have to be your brother's keeper on this count. Because of the rise of ISIS, unlike Al-Qaeda, or the Taliban, the way that George Bush has pronounced it, the Taliban, ISIS has upped the game. They do recruitment videos that incite people across the globe to strike out at the establishment. They promote lone wolf incitements to create havoc against the Americans. And this was all George's doing. And let us be honest, this is not a fight that is going to end within the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. President Barack Obama has admitted as much. Because you cannot defeat an ideology by dropping bombs. So, because of what George W. Bush did, and Jeb Bush being his brother, you need to wage the war against the Bushes. I agree with you, Ann Coulter. I'm telling you, Jeb Bush, y'all, is not going to win the GOP nomination. He is a Todd Atkins, however you pronounce his last name. He is damaged goods. America is where we are because of the call that he made. To elect Jeb Bush, you are saying that, well, Iraq wasn't enough. Let's go now and bomb Iran. Let's go and bomb Iran. So he will pick up the other eye, Iran. And trust me when I say this, the super PACs against the GOP are going to run all those ads. And those ads are not good ads. People are tired of war. Just like Donald Trump said about John McCain. When George Bush proclaimed this war against Iraq, whatever problems the Veterans Affairs had, he compounded it by the number of returning veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan, not able to provide them services, not providing services, discounting them, not employing them, not seeing after them. All of this is because of Bush. And because this war has gone on so long, it has touched the average American life. Everybody got a relative or friend, a neighbor, somebody that they know that has served in the the Iraqi-Afghanistan war, people. So, let's say, go Jeb, go Jeb, go Jeb. We want Hillary against you. Go Jeb, go Jeb. Because you are a loser. No matter how you shape it. And when the ads start running, this is what's going to happen. Anybody with the last name of Bush is going to say, well, yeah, my name is such and such Bush, not related to President Bush or whatever, because it's going to be a name of shame. And this is where I get upset with Jeb. When you get so cocky, when you're so arrogant, when you're so caught up in the Dick Cheney mindset of white privilege, that you can just run regardless of the conditions of the country and the fact that your family was responsible for it, but you are willing to sacrifice the political career of your own son, I have to say I have no respect for you. Yes, right now your son is the agricultural commissioner or whatever, but that is going to be the ceiling. That is as far as he's going to go. Because when the Democratic super PACs, the independent super PACs, or all those super PACs who don't want you president, get done running ads against your brother, you have harmed your child, your children, for generations. Because you jumped out there being proud and being arrogant. You need to be put back in your place. So, I'm going to say this. GOP, you think Jeb represents the establishment? You think that he's the best competition for Hillary? You're living in a fallacy world. But my advice to you is, like Clint Eastwood said, go ahead, make my day. Because running Jeb Bush, hey, guess what? We got the White House again. Peace out.